guys, Jody here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jody, and I love the arts, and on my channel I mostly talk about books, television, and theater. So if you like any of those things, be sure to stick around because I'm certainly going to be talking about some of those things today. So I recently just published my monthly favorites in the arts for May 2023 article for my blog. And I thought, I talked about a lot of fun stuff here today in this article, so I thought, why not make a video where I also talk about what I talked about in that article, but on my YouTube channel. So here I am today, basically going to be talking about my monthly favorites in the arts for last month, which was May. I'll mostly be talking about television with a side of theater. So yeah, if you like those things, today's video might interest you. So I'll get to the television portion now, if you will. So in May 2023, I would possibly say was maybe the best month of television for the year. We had the season 2 finale of Yellowjackets, we had the series finale of Succession, and we had a whole lot of stuff happening on Bravo. We had season finale for Vanderpump Rules, we had reunions for Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Summer House. And a lot of stuff happened on television in the month of May that I would categorize as TV events of the year. So yeah, I'll start off with Yellowjackets first. Yellowjackets is maybe quite possibly my favorite show currently on television. I've been a fan of the show ever since the first season, and it's just a really unique, different show. And basically the premise, if you will, is a premise for a show we've seen before, but it's done in a way that feels fresh, feels new, and is extremely unique. But yeah, I won't delve into what season 2 dealt with because it is the second season. If you haven't watched season 1 yet, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'll give you a tiny bit of an overview of what, the series is about, if you're interested in it or not. So Yellowjackets is basically about a group of girls on a soccer team, and the show begins in the year 1996. They're scheduled to compete in like a tournament or something. I didn't really play many sports, so I think it's a tournament, a game. They're scheduled to play a game of some kind. So where they're scheduled to play this game is not close by, so they get on a plane and they go travel there by plane. So as they're on the plane, unfortunately, as they're making their way to this game, the plane crashes, and the plane crashes in the middle of basically nowhere. It's like basically just the wilderness, and the girls that were on the plane, they're all alone, and the show is basically about them trying to survive their time their time there, and everything that they go through, which is very difficult, which is very traumatizing and hard to live through. They went through a really difficult time at this place. So the show, what I really find fascinating in a way is that not fascinating that it's like something that hasn't been done before, but they go through the time period of like when the show begins in 1996, and they go through that time period, and then they flip-flop between that time period and the present day. And I won't say anything more. I don't want to spoil it, even though pretty much a lot comes out in the first episode that I could say, but I don't know if it's considered a spoiler. But, it's a great show. I highly recommend it. It's by far my favorite show on television at the moment. And yeah, season 2 definitely delivered, and it was a great season, and I just love the cast, and it's just a great, unique show, and like I said, highly recommend. The next big season or series finale, if you will, was the series finale of Succession, which was actually on the same very night that the season 2 season finale of Yellowjackets took place. So Succession, I have been a fan of that show since the beginning. I didn't watch the show immediately when it first aired, more like a month or two afterwards, and it quickly became very much a favorite for me. The acting is amazing, the scripts, the dialogue is just such a good show, and it's not really surprised why so many people like the show and why it's so talked about, because it's really one of the best shows that's ever been made. So yeah, before I won't say obviously what the show, too much detail about the show, because obviously everyone's watching shows at different times now. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So as far as, I guess I'll give a brief overview on the show, and then I'll say what my initial thoughts were on the series finale. The show is basically about a family. It's a family drama. And the father of the family runs like a corporation that includes like newspapers and TV and media, like cruise ships, amusement parks. It's basically a corporation that covers anything and everything. So the first episode primarily deals with how the eldest son, Kendall, is supposed to take over the company. The father's supposed to step down and he's going to take over the company. And the father has, I saw the first episode so long ago, but he has like a health issue of some kind. I believe he has a heart attack. And that's not a spoiler because it happens literally in the first episode. And when he recovers from what he went through, he changes his mind and he's like, Kendall, sorry, but I'm not stepping down. You're not taking over. That's just the way it's going to be. And basically the rest of the series is about the fallout from that and the family dynamics and how they have changed, and just basically about the family and the business. And it's just such an amazing show. I absolutely loved it. I guess I have to say love now because it's over, not loved. But I loved it. It was a great show. And yeah, I'm trying to think what I want to say next. I spaced out there. Sorry. And so, yeah. So as far as the series finale goes, I liked it. I really liked it. And my initial reaction was like, what? Initially, I was like, I didn't love how it ended. But I watched those little interviews after the episode was over with. And after watching that and taking some time to like process the ending, because you kind of have to process it. And so after taking a minute to process what I had just seen, it did make sense to end it like that, because I'm not giving anything away by any means. But if you watch the show, it's not a very happy show. So it makes sense that the creator, the writers, decided to go in the direction of the ending also not being what I would say a happy ending where everyone goes off into the sunset with a smile on their face. It's an ending that is sad and depressing and kind of tragic. And it's an ending that I really liked. The more I thought about it, I'm like, yes, this was a good way to end the show. And it was a good ending. Obviously, some very depressing in many ways, but it's definitely an ending that will stay with you, and definitely an ending I won't soon forget anytime soon. My favorite series finale, I always compare series finales to my favorite series finale of all time, which is 6 Feet Under, and nothing will ever compare to that series finale. But Succession definitely had a good series finale with like a lot of solid moments and memorable moments that you will definitely remember. So also, before I leave talking about Succession, even if you're not like interested in the show, I would say just tune into that theme song. The theme song for Succession is hands down the best theme song in the history of television, at least for me. And I believe the composer of the theme song actually won an award. So it's like everybody loves that theme song. It's that good. But yeah, it's just that I love that theme song. I love the show. And okay, moving on now to Bravo TV. Man, if you watch my channel, you know I love me some Bravo TV. It's like kind of what gets me through life now. I'm currently in the midst of watching season 2 of The Real Housewives of Miami, like the reboot on Peacock, and whoa. I normally don't watch episode after episode of the same show, but I watched like 3 episodes in a row of that, because a lot happens in that season 2 finale. I'm not gonna say anything. It's like really upsetting, but you know, not talking about Miami today because I'm talking about some stuff that I'm currently caught up on. So, I would call the next show I'm about to talk about, their finale, as the TV event of the year. Forget the Super Bowl. The Vanderpump Rules finale that just recently happened, that is like literally the TV event of the year. It's a show, it's an episode of a show that was so highly talked about, was so highly anticipated, and it definitely delivered. The way the editors of the show edited that season finale, it was like just so well done. It was almost like an episode of like Law and Order, where some of the cast members were like detectives piecing together the clues of Tom and Raquel's affair. And I am Team Ariana, because that was just a horrible thing that she went through, and she shouldn't have had to go through that. Like, that whole situation is just like, not okay to do that to someone. So, as far as the reunion goes, the reunions, if you are a fan of this show, you know what I'm talking about. The reunions have also delivered, and they're reunions you will definitely remember. And, it's like kind of like, obviously, it's weird with reality television, because you are entertained by it, but they are dealing with real life, people. These people have real lives, and it's not just a show for them. So the show in itself is entertaining, but I also feel for so many of the people affected by, the fallout from this affair. And it's a horrible situation. And, hopefully everyone learned from their mistakes. So, moving on, also the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Summer House both had their reunions as well in May, or they started to have all their reunions in May, and more reunions that delivered. I mean, both of those series also went through a lot this season on their respective shows as well. And I tuned into all episodes because, like I said, Bravo TV gets me through life these days, and I am very thankful for you, Bravo TV. Thank you, Andy Cohen, for your wonderful network. Okay, so last but not least, I will be talking about theater, Broadway, the performing arts. So, you may or may not know that there's a writer's strike currently happening that's basically affecting every television show and movie that is currently in production. Basically, nothing new is being filmed right now. Nothing new is being written because, like I said, there's a writer's strike happening. Last time the writer's strike was from 2007, 2008. It affected a lot of shows. And I believe it lasted for 100 days. Hopefully this time it's not as long, but when you think of this writer's strike, you primarily think of television and movies. You don't think it's going to affect theater. And it does affect award shows because that dialogue between awards being given out was written by someone. So, when I heard the strike had begun in early May, I didn't even think the Tony Awards would be affected. But then, maybe a week or two later, it came out that the Tony Awards were canceled because of the writer's strike. And then a few more days go by, and then that decision was reversed, and now the writer's strike, the Writers Guild and the Broadway League agreed to some kind of revised version of the Tony Awards, so they could still happen. So they might not be what was originally planned because, I guess, of skits and stuff that would take place between the awards. I don't know what to expect, but the Tony Awards will be happening. And as someone who did not get to see any shows, not only this season, but for the last few years, I'm really thankful that Tony Awards are going to happen in some sort of way, because I was really hoping to see some of the shows this season, and they looked interesting to me, and I'm just happy that it's happening. They were able to make an agreement on something, and yeah. So the Tony Awards, if you didn't know, also will be taking place on June 11th, which is this upcoming Sunday, and it's going to be on CBS, I believe, probably from 8 to 11, and probably Paramount Plus as well. I think there's a pre-show, but the pre-show's not on Paramount Plus this year. I don't know about any of that because I don't have Paramount Plus, but there is a pre-show in case you're interested. So, yeah, I thought this would be a fun video to talk about because I talked about TV here and there, and I thought, why not talk about it some more, Obviously, I don't really edit my videos, so instead of having some cool little box to the side with the title of the show I'm talking about, it's just me, but hopefully I'm enough. Probably not, but whatever. Okay, so before I go, let me know in the comments what your favorite things in the arts were for May 2023. Did you have a favorite TV show? Did you have a favorite show on Bravo, as far as the reunions go? And what shows are you hoping win a Tony Award? What performers are you hoping win a Tony Award? Are you looking forward to the Tony Awards? Fun stuff like that. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video where I talked a lot about television, a little bit of theater, a little bit about theater, where I lost my train of thought at moments, you know, whatever. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye.